PolyView is a data visualization tool. So after you define your experiment or library in Library Studio and then run the recipe in Automation Studio to save the data specific to that library into database, PolyView will allow you to query the data, to visualize the data, and make report based on your experiment need. So here we will demonstrate how you can create a query and save a query for the data you want to look into the database. So to open the PolyView, you go do File, Open, and it will open up the window where here at the bottom you can see the query list, and I'm going to search for a specific library with the library number, which are very unique to each library that we designed. And if I search for this library, it is going to pull out the data specific to this library, and it is going to create the query list on the right corner right here, and you can see the current list has 6 elements. Here if you click on the plus sign here, it will enumerate all the experiments. Those are linked to this particular library ID, and as you can see, this is a library where we did lotion formulation, so it has the pH, process parameters, formulation elements which will have the viscosity, actual dispensers, etc., linked to different experiment ID which are connected to this library ID. So once you set up the query, you can also save this query by Save Query button. So if you click Save Query, you can basically give it a name. I'll give it a name Demo and save it. So it will save the query. So the next time you want to query the database with the same query that you have created, you can basically just open the query and it will create the same list as it created now. After you queried the data, you would like to visualize the data. To visualize the data, you can create a worksheet or spreadsheet the way you want to visualize the data. So here I'm going to create a spreadsheet by clicking this spreadsheet button and choosing all the parameters that I like to visualize for this particular set of experiments connected to this library. So for example, this is a formulation experiments where I want to make sure that all the dispensers that went into the wells are correct. So I'm going to choose the source name, that's the chemical that's dispensed, and then the actual amount that has been dispensed to each well, and compare it with the target amount. So if I press OK, it's going to create a spreadsheet, as you can see here, and corresponding to each library elements, it will give me the name of the chemicals that has been dispensed, the actual amount that has been dispensed, and the target amount which has been designed in the Library Studio. So we can name this, we can change the name of the, you can change the name of this spreadsheet by right clicking on it and then do a rename view. Like this one, I'll say dispense. Similarly, you can make multiple spreadsheet for the same experiment and save it as a different spreadsheet. So here in this example of lotion formulation set of experiments, I have made 3 spreadsheets. One is dispense, the other one called process, where you can monitor again all the process parameter. Here we are monitoring the temperature and the star rate of the blender for each well, and then here are the XY plots for the star rate and the temperature over time of the formulation experiment. And then the third tab spreadsheet is the property one, where I chose to monitor the pH and the actual viscosity and the image of the formulation corresponding to each well. Once you created the report, just like the one that I've defined here with 3 spreadsheets, you can actually save this report format by going to File and say Save Report Definitions, and then it will ask you what are the things that you want to save, and you can choose the spreadsheet. For here I want to choose the dispense, process, and property, and then you can add all of them and give it a name. I will say demo, and it will save the report definition. So later, if you search the database to pull out the data, viscosity data, and want to visualize it like exactly the way I defined it here, you can just import the report definition, and it's going to show you the data the way you have designed it. Here we will demonstrate how we can use the existing queries and report definitions to search the database and create report quickly. So for example, we can open a new PolyView window and then open a query which is already existing, like the demo that I saved earlier, and then we'll search the database. So it is going to pull out the data based on the query that was saved, and then we can go to File and open report definitions and open up the definition that we just created, and it's going to create the report from the data. So as you can see, we'll create the dispense, all the process parameters, and then the property which will have the pH, viscosity, and image.